So I had to ask myself if I was going to be there for my daughter, if I was going to keep being there for my daughter, if I was going to keep going in and out of jail. Because if I was going to keep going in and out of jail, I already knew my daughter was better off without me, because I wasn't going to be a dad that was going to show up and then disappear, show up and then disappear, because that happens way too often.
What does Indigenous youth have to do with emergency management? Well, it has everything to do with it. Indigenous worldviews tell us everything is connected, and safe communities can't truly be safe unless our youth are protected. Whether they're Indigenous or non-Indigenous, on reserve, off reserve, it doesn't matter. If our youth aren't getting positivity in their life growing up, they're going to fall back to other influences such as organized crime. So I'm here today talking to Terrence Bear, founder of Always Moving Forward, and his initiative to help Indigenous youth gain back their identity, forge new identities, and get the positivity they need to be always moving forward. Welcome to the Hazardscape podcast, where we discuss Indigenous Emergency Management as our small contribution to enhancing Indigenous community public safety in our efforts to reconcile the relationship between the Crown and all nations.
My name is Terrence Bear. I'm the founder of Always Moving Forward. Always Moving Forward is a youth initiative foundation. I came up with Always Moving Forward when I was incarcerated because I needed something to believe in. I needed something to help me move forward, because I was at the lowest point in my life, and my daughter was just turned 1 years old and I was incarcerated. So I needed something to look forward to. And I came up with Always Moving Forward. And it wasn't just a slogan. I didn't come up with these words just to sound motivational or poetic. I came up with them because at the lowest point in my life, I needed something to hold on to, something to aim for, something that reminded me I still had a chance to write the story differently than it was like my path. Because my path, the way I was going, was not great, and I needed a different direction.
Yeah.
So I came up with Always Moving Forward. It has is my brand.
Okay.
And when I first got out of jail, it was about me and my daughter. That was it. That was all. I was always moving forward. I wanted to get to my daughter, and I got out. I was in the halfway house, and I got to my daughter. And every day I was spending every single day with my daughter. Even my parole officer was telling me sometimes it was too much, but I was just trying to catch up on lost time. I felt like I lost so much time with my baby girl. So all I was doing was trying to catch up on lost time. And it kind of bothered me at the time when my parole officer told me I was spending too much time with my daughter. And I wanted my daughter to know that I believed in her, and I seen my daughter was going down the wrong path because I wasn't there for her. Wasn't there to give her that father figure, and her mom wasn't also there being showing her a healthy lifestyle. So I had to actually come in, and at the time I kind of thought to myself that being the dad that I didn't have as much rights to my daughter.
Yep.
And I met my partner Megan, and she's a great partner because she changed my mindset there that I have just as much rights to my daughter, and if my daughter's not in a safe environment, then it's my job to actually take my daughter out of that safe environment. And this is where I started coming up with the empowering youth, showing youth that we believe in them. Because I remember when I was younger, all I was told was that I'm a bad kid, that I'm gonna grow up to be a bad kid and a criminal. And that's what happened. That is what happened until my daughter came into this world. And that sure changed my mindset, because I was incarcerated, and all of a sudden it's not easy access to my daughter. I can't be there for my daughter. I can't provide for my daughter. I can't do these things. And it's not just about me anymore. It's about my daughter. There's another person in this world that I got to worry about. So I had to ask myself if I was going to be there for my daughter, if I was going to keep being there for my daughter, if I was going to keep going in and out of jail. Because if I was going to keep going in and out of jail, I already knew my daughter was better off without me, because I wasn't going to be a dad that was going to show up and then disappear, show up and then disappear, because that happens way too often.
Terrence is seeing and witnessing what's pulling youth out of community, out of their culture, to other groups that might look a little bit more enticing than what's back home. And he's got some ideas on how to better manage that to create a positive environment for the youth.
they see that as the lavish lifestyle because that's where they see people driving nice cars and maybe spending a lot of money and growing and hanging out with bigger crowds. That's what it looks like, but it also comes with a lot of consequences.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. What so what is your message like to young people today about this? Because I mean, what do you think it would have taken when you were younger? Like what would it have taken someone to kind of influence or convince you that a positive path forward is achievable and more important than kind of that lifestyle that people are seeking?
kind of it kind of starts within the household. It starts within the household, and it starts even just giving your kids those positive affirmations like, "Oh, you're doing a good job. Oh, I believe in you. Oh, you made your bed. That's great." That's where it starts. And then like because when I was younger, I didn't hear those things, but those things would have been good to hear. But then
Mm,
you go into the community and then you have aunties, uncles, or even different community members. They see that your family members drink alcohol and you have older family members that are involved in gangs, and that's how you're going to be, and you're told that, and then that starts going into your mind. So what I say is we need to be able to tell our youth like, I believe in you, you're doing a good job, I believe in you, I'm here for you. If you need someone to talk to, come and talk to me, because I'm open ears and I will listen to you, and I'm not just here to listen. If we need to make actions and make things happen, let's make things happen together. And that's not just I'm not just here to listen, I'm here to help you move forward, and I'm not here to make it like give you a hand out. I want to give you a hand up. I want
yeah.
to help you forward, right? I don't want to just be like, here you have this, here have this, here have this, because that doesn't help nobody any either, because you're just showing them that you're just going to keep giving, right? When they got to be able to help themselves too, and they know they can help themselves, they can see it that they can help themselves, but we got to show them that they can help themselves. We got to show them that we believe in them, because it starts with us. And it also starts like at the youth, because right now where I'm at, like my generation, I see a lot of people on crystal meth in the gangs, selling drugs, so much different stuff, right? And they keep coming, and it's from on reserve because people are feeling lost. They're lost. They don't have no sense of direction.
Terrence highlights the importance of stable, critical infrastructure and why clean water is so important to have an environment that keeps the youth at home wanting to and stay engaged in their community, and why economic development is so important.
Even on the reserve, there's no sense of direction right now. There's no jobs. There's sometimes no running water. And they want to get away from that. So they come into the inner city and they're looking for something. And what they find the drugs, they find the gangs, they find people that those people have money, and nobody else is going to give them a chance, because it's just somebody comes from off the reserve that, like I said, when I was younger, I was told that I wasn't going to make it. And there's still a lot of people that believe that.
Yeah, they're going from one type of community to another type of community that they perceive as more supportive, giving
Yes.
them that ability to maybe add some structure to their life, some financial capability. You know, they can
Hmm.
maybe they're told that they can own, you know, their path forward or whatever, but it's all just smoke and mirrors,
Yes, yes,
right?
because when you get there, when you get there, it's the same thing. It's the same struggle. It's the
Yeah.
same thing. So we gotta be able to prevent that struggle in a way, or not in their minds make it seem like it's such a big struggle, because that's what it is, right? It's we're stuck in this struggle, and then we're looking for hope, we're looking for belief, and we find it somewhere, but it's like I keep saying, it comes with consequences, and I really wish we could. I know we are going to help our youth go in a different direction, and we're going to bring them in a direction to healthy lifestyles, to better jobs, becoming entrepreneurs, becoming business owners, becoming investors, believing in themselves, because that's what it's about. You have to believe in yourself first, because if you don't believe in yourself, then it's kind of hard to keep moving forward when you don't believe in yourself. But if we believe in them, then it'll be easier for them to believe in themselves because we show them, we tell them, we believe in you. I believe in you. I'm here for you.
The data is clear. First Nations peoples are overrepresented in the criminal justice system and our prisons. And it's not because they're bad people. Sometimes they're just in the wrong place at the wrong time because they've been exposed to circumstances where they don't have a community that has clean drinking water or a community center or a job, so they have to leave and they go to a foreign urban center where they're confronted with racism and police and law enforcement that don't understand.
I feel like my message to somebody who feels like they already have a record and that's a reason to not try. You may have had a setback. You may have had a setback. Something may have happened and it was not in your control. And that does happen in our life. And it's not gonna it's only gonna hold on to you as much as you let it. So always moving forward means knowing that sometimes things are happening and they're not in your control, but you got to be able to let go. If you don't let go and you hang on to things, it's like you're carrying that weight with you. And when you carry that weight with you and you keep doing that, it gets heavier and heavier and heavier. So, my message is to be able to just let go and move forward and be able to breathe and be able to not hang on to those things that you're telling yourself because those are stories. And when
Mm,
you tell yourself negative stories, those negative stories can come out in different things, and those hold weight. Those stories do hold weight more than just baggage. They hold weight on your emotions. They hold weight when you're going into family, when you're going into relationships. So my message is just let go, because if you don't let go, you're hanging on to too much. Just let go. Always move forward. Believe in yourself because I believe in you. And
yeah.
everybody, there are people out there that believe in you. And we are here. Like you said, there are indigenous companies that only hire youth because they are coming out of that system and they want to move forward in life. And we got to come together and we got to show our youth that these programs are here, these things are here. And we, if you need to step forward, if you need someone to believe in you, if you need a mentor, these things are available. We just got to come together, build connections to show them that they're available, because they are available, they are out there, but it's so hard to find for our youth. That, but guess what's easier to find, right?
Yeah.
Like there's so much easier things to find. So we got to be able to put it in the open so they can come and find it, and it's there, it's here, we're here. And I want to go to in within the communities, and I want to be like, here we are, we're here for you, we're here for you. I believe in you. I want to show you that there's a different direction. I want to show you that there's a better life to what we've been shown as kids, as growing up, because there we've been shown negative lifestyle growing, not gonna lie. And it does take a toll, because right now, where I'm at right now is I have 6 kids under my roof. Every
Wow.
day I tell my kids I
Yeah.
believe in them. Every day I tell my kids I believe in them. I got one that's going to the Toronto spelling bee in May. May
Right on.
23rd, we're going to Toronto. So she'll be in the spelling bee because she believes in herself. She has so much determination, that kid, like, and that's because we believe in her, and she's so confident, and all of our kids are confident. And I have one that plays tennis and art, and they're doing things, they're keeping themselves busy. And that's the thing we got to do with our youth, is keep them busy, because idle hands are the devil's playground. It's been said over and over again, and it's true. It's so true, because when you're not keeping busy, when you're not keeping your kids busy, their minds are still busy. Their minds
Yeah.
are still going no matter what, and they want to be able to do stuff. And there's always that negative stuff right in front of you. It's right there. It's so harder to find the positive stuff. And even when I say, like, living a positive lifestyle, it's it gets easier and easier, but it's so easy to go backwards, right?
Yeah.
It's
It's a lot of energy.
Yeah, yes. But to get back, to move forward again, once you fall back, that takes more energy. So it's easier just to keep moving forward, always moving forward.
I love that point where you're like, people can rewrite their story or reinvent themselves. If I was a youth talking to you and I was like, okay, just where do I start? What are just a couple of things I can do this second to start that process?
So when I very first got out of the penitentiary and I needed to start the process, I started listening to motivational videos, and one motivational video that got me through it all was Lone Wolf. It's called Lone Wolf. It's on YouTube, and it talks about going in it alone sometimes and going through it alone, because sometimes when you're trying to move forward in life, that's what it is, because there's so many people going in their direction, and usually that direction is kind of off to the side or backwards. Nobody's going to be moving forward with you. So sometimes you're doing it alone until you build your own pack. And that's what I had to do, because at the beginning, I was all by myself. I remember going out there day after day with my baby girl, trying to connect with my baby girl. And that's another thing, building connections. You have to make sure you're connected, because being alone, yeah, you can go in it alone, but I was going in at it alone, but I still maybe made sure I had that connection with my baby girl. I always, every single day, I wanted to be there for my girl. And when I wasn't there for my girl, I was out there going, finding a job, trying to get into school, handing out resumes, doing what I had to do to build my life, to move forward. And I know lots of people seen that, because people started coming into my life that helped me move forward and helped me build where I am today. And there's one person I am really, really grateful for other than my partner. And he was my welding boss. He's an amazing guy. And every time I needed like somebody to like believe in me, I guess, because
Hmm.
there are times at the beginning where I had a hard time and I needed someone to talk to. And he was like my mentor. He was the person that would reach out. Even like it was weird, because I would be down and out sometimes, and I wouldn't even kind of reach out to him. And it was kind of like he would reach out to me, because he knew, probably, I don't know how, but that maybe I was having a hard time, and he would reach out, ask how I was doing, and then he would be like, "Let's have a talk." And that part right there, that helped me move forward in my negative mindset lots, because I had that connection as well, right?
If you haven't seen Terrence on TikTok or Facebook, especially on his TikTok channel, he's got a series of motivational videos where he's trying to be, a voice for the next generation to help them stay positive and get out of bed and see the world as a good place.
I don't make these videos only for me. I do go back and I watch my videos, because sometimes I do feel like I don't want to get out of bed, or sometimes I do feel like the world is just coming at me and things are piling up, and I have to go back and remind myself and watch my videos. But I make the videos because I want to empower other people. I want to empower our youth, not just our youth. Our youth is that's my main focus, but I want to empower people throughout everywhere, throughout our communities, so they know that even when they feel like they don't want to get out of bed, like my cousin messaged me the other day. He's like, you know what? I didn't feel like getting out of bed this morning. And I got up and I seen one of your videos, and guess what? I got out of bed and I went to
Yeah.
work, went to do what I had to do. And I was like, right on. That's what I want. Yeah.
Yeah. And as Terrence himself is striving to keep moving forward, he's starting to also incorporate culture and spirituality into how he approaches youth and helping them to redefine themselves and stay positive and reconnect with culture.
Still trying to reconnect with my culture. When I was, like I said, when I was incarcerated, I was in the healing lodge as well.
Mm,
And I did lots of sweats there. I went to lots of sundances and powwows, because I was doing good, that they took me out within the community to actually help out and do things. And I actually, on TikTok, just yesterday, I had somebody reach out, Sweats, on one of my comments, and I was like, I actually need to get connected with Sweats. Do you know somebody in Saskatoon that can connect me with Sweats? And he was like, I'll reach out to my elders out there. So that is something I'm pursuing, because it is very important for me, and for me myself, to stay connected with my culture. But I also want my children to stay connected and know where they come from. We do smudges in the mornings, because I went to with New Direction Consulting, I went to volunteer at the smudge room at TCU Place, and they gave me a nice roll of sage and a
mm,
ribbon.
okay.
So I started smudging in the morning with my kids and saying thank you, because that's what I do is I say thank you and I thank the creator for the days and for where I am today because in 2013 I don't feel like I would have like I didn't think I would have 6 kids under my roof. I didn't think I'd have a partner. I didn't think I'd have my own brand always moving forward in my landscaping. Like these things weren't visible in my eyes, but now they're here. And sometimes I just sit there and I smile to myself because I'm like, this is what we built, me and my partner. And this was just from 2016 to now, and we built quite the life. And I'm proud of myself, and I'm proud of my partner, and I'm proud of my brand, and I am most of all proud of my babies because they're so smart, they are confident, and they know what always moving forward means.
And Terrence has other ideas on how to engage youth and keep them motivated and engaged on a path forward.
We got to not just make it about programming. We got to not just make it about build like trying to rebuild your identity and all that type of stuff, but we also got to make it about there are like fun. Like when you come here, you have fun. We build connections. We're connected. We go out and we do stuff together. We go out and we go to the lakes. We do things. We build connections. Even like if we have like big youth rallies and kids come from different reserves and build a big youth rally because I know bikers do that. I know gang
Yeah.
members do that.
Yeah.
Why can't we do that for our youth?
Yeah.
Right?
Make it positive.
Like,
Make it positive for everyone.
yes, yes, bring them together because it's all about building that connection. Because when you feel so alone and you feel like there is no connection, it's hard to have that what do you call that? I guess that feeling of belief in yourself, and that's connection is a big thing. Connection is huge to me.
Is it about fun? Terrence is also exploring ways of combating organized crime and human trafficking and drug trafficking at their own game by using some of their tactics against them to engage youth and bring strength and values and community together as a tool to help keep youth moving forward in a positive way.
I built the Always Moving Forward brand actually because I wanted to actually build this brand because if I give this shirt to one of our youths
Mm,
and somebody else is wearing it and they see it on the street, it's kind of like that connection. You see somebody else wearing that shirt, I believe in you. And you already know that person believes in you because you're both wearing Always Moving Forward apparel. And you know what Always Moving Forward stands for.
yeah, you've got that common value system that
Yes.
makes it a safe space. And if somebody has that shirt or is associated with you, it's a safe person.
Yeah. Yes, yes.
Okay.
Like if I don't just give Always Moving Forward shirts out to everybody. Always Moving Forward means that if you are wearing Always Moving Forward shirt, it means that you believe as much as they should believe in themselves because you want to be believing themselves and you want to be approachable because if you're wearing an Always Moving Forward shirt and an Always Moving Forward hat and a youth comes up to you, you want to be able to hear them with open ears and open arms and be like, yeah, I'm listening. And if they need connections, Always Moving Forward is there. All you got to do is reach out. And if somebody's wearing a shirt and they have a youth that comes up to them, they can reach out to me. They can reach out to our people, and we could actually connect with that youth that's having a hard time because there are a lot of youth out there that are having a hard time.
And it's important for Terrence to build these youth up in their community as leaders because he's also keenly aware because he's been through it himself that modern day non-indigenous counseling, sort of one-on-one individual therapy, while it has its place, there also has to be a community and a cultural aspect.
That's why I want to build leaders within the communities
Yeah.
so they can have like mentors, so they can have somebody that they can go to. So like you said, like sometimes counseling is hard because you go in and you tell your story, and sometimes that counselor moves on, and then go in and you tell your story again. And sometimes, from my experience, when I was younger, I went in, I told my story, counselor moved on. I went in, I told my story again, and then I was getting connected, and the counselor moved on, and I was like, why do we keep doing this? And I got to a point where I didn't even believe in it. I got to a point
Mm,
where I didn't believe in it so much that it was probably only about a year or two ago that I started going, because for my kids, not for myself. It was actually because my daughter needed to go to counseling, and it was like a family thing. So we called it crafting because I had this thing against counseling, right?
mm.
So we called it crafting as I first went in, but it was still counseling, and we still talked, and to this day it's crafting, but it is counseling. And now I know what counseling can do for you when you actually go talk to somebody. But when you actually can talk to people within your community that believe in you and that you actually know personally, that ain't gonna disappear on you, that's a different story.
Yeah, that I like that reframing of crafting,
Yes.
because it also like right, because crafting is like it's art, it's creation, it's tinkering, it's experimenting, it's making mistakes and being okay. It
Yes, yes.
it's that group effort. Yeah, that's a great reframe. With the early success of Always Moving Forward, I had to ask Terrence, what does he see as the future? Where does he see this going, and what are his next big steps?
So for always moving forward in my brand, I
Yeah.
actually want to start reaching out to communities. I'm from Lac La Ronge Band, and I have talked to members within my community about bringing this into the community. And there's not only one community in Lac La Ronge. I'm from Little Red Reserve. That's part of Lac La Ronge Band. So we have different communities, all part of the north. And I want to be able to start bringing this to communities as a pilot project, and then show them that I want to do the before and afters, like the mindsets. This is your mindset now. Okay, let's bring you through my program. This is your mindset after the program, and all these type of stuffs. And then I want to be able to present all my data and all my stuff to other reserves and be like, "We did with Black Larange, and this is how we made change within our community for our youth. And this is how it looks. And this is the positive outcome so far. Would you like this kind of stuff?" Because there are, with always moving forward, you have to acknowledge where you come from first. And then you have to be able to, you have to identify where you have to acknowledge where you came from. And then you have to be able to move forward. You have to re-identify yourself. You have to be able to show that people believe in yourself, because when you with identity, that's where people are like, you're this kind of person, you're that kind of person. And that starts building your identity because you start believing that, right?
It's not easy to picture yourself in the future and be comfortable with that vision, because often it means having to admit to your present day self that your future self is successful. And I really wanted to hear from Terrence about how that happens. What is that process?
There are two ways to look at this, because you can, if you're talking about your future self in the present, and we're always talking about our future selves. And whether I'm in the present and I'm not talking about my future self now, and I'm going to be living a better lifestyle. My program is going to be in different communities all throughout Saskatchewan, maybe even throughout Canada. That, that type of stuff. Um, these are positive things I'm telling myself. These are things I know are going to happen. But also, like I said, there are different type of affirmations that people tell you, and that build you can tell yourself, whether it's negative or positive. And these are things we tell ourselves to build ourselves in the future, whether I can make it, I can't make it. I don't want to get out of bed. I can get out of bed. These are two different frames of mindsets. But those two different frames of mindsets, they get you in two different places. You just have to be able to check it. You have to be able to believe in yourself. And you have to be able to know that where you are right now, you have to see yourself in that, whether it's 1 year from now, 5 years from now, or 6 years from now. You can see yourself, you have to be able to see yourself in a positive way, because we always have negative self-talks, and negative self-talks are not good for us, and they're not good for our identity. So we have to be able to talk to ourselves positive. Talk to yourself like you're talking to a friend. Like you want to talk to your friend, and you want your friend to move forward in life, and you know your friend is having a hard time, but you want to say something good to your friend. Talk to yourself like you're talking to your friend, because those are the things that are going to help you move forward. Because in reality, you are your personally. That's why we are personal. Like, we are our friends. We do talk to ourselves. We do have talks, and those self talks, they build our goals, and they build where we're going to move on, our next step, our next move.
So it's, yeah, it's like that visualization practice, right? Just like pro athletes will visualize their performance in a hockey game or the Stanley Cup final, right? They're, even though they're not playing the game yet, they're visualizing the goals. They're visualizing all that positive, even though it hasn't happened yet.
Yes, yes, yes. It's that
Okay.
visualization. Remember, they were talking about this person back in the day. They said you can't run under so many kilometers because your heart will burst. They used to say that
Yeah.
until one runner ran that fast under so many seconds, and then everybody started doing that because they seen it, and that one person did it, and then everybody started believing in themselves.
Yeah.
And that's how it is. That's how it is, right? Because you see that when you see that positive things, then you're like, yeah, I can do that too, because somebody already did it.
Yeah, and so going back earlier to kind of what you're looking to do for the future, like getting those pilots, getting communities to pilot your program, what are some challenges or barriers that you kind of foresee in trying to achieve at least getting a couple pilots in place and done?
My challenges personally are
Yeah.
outreach. Outreach is a big thing for me because I have a hard time reaching out. And from I feel like it's from my younger days, because like I said, I've been in crafting, and I've been dealing with a lot of things that I can recognize nowadays. But when I go into places and I reach out to places, and I some of them don't answer back right away, or some of them be like maybe, I feel like it's a sense of denial, and I got to get past that sense of denial. And that's my biggest challenge, is getting past that sense of denial and still being able to always move forward, because there are so many challenges. That's one of my personal challenges, is having that sense of being denied and still being able to be like, you know what, that denial is one step closer to my next yes. Because hearing no, it's okay to hear no, but hearing no personally, sometimes it kind of gives people that sense of it's not believed in, or it's not achievable. But you just got to be able to keep pushing like a salesman. You got to go to the next door, knock on the next door, and knock on the next door, and knock on the next door. You know how many no's salesmen get in a day?
Oh
And
yeah.
they're so those guys got so much freaking tenacity and so much go get, because they're always up and at it, and they're just like on to the next door, and they're just like, you know what, that's that. And that's how I got to learn to be. I want to be able to reframe my mind in that part. Like, I talk a lot about identity, and it's reframing your mind as well. And I know I have to actually tackle that part of myself and be like, this is where I got to reframe my mind, because I did a lot of reframing of my mind, and a lot of helping my mindset more in a positive way. But I got to be able to reframe my mind with things like speaking, get comfortable in all all spaces. But it's also is being able to be, like you said, be authentic and be yourself, and be able to not try think of what you're going to say, but already just be yourself. Because when you actually be yourself and you're not thinking of what you're going to say, and you just go with the flow, it actually comes out a lot easier. And even when you're like, when you go into interviews or that type of stuff, there's when you go in and you're like, this is what it is, and this is what I when you speak from your mind, people can actually see that. But when it's actually kind of scripted, it's kind of hard, I guess, in a way to go back and be like, this is what it means, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, totally. So your like, I think it's important, right, for the youth that listen to this and to you to know that you're not perfect. You're still going through that identity change and a constant transformation to the next level, right?
Yes.
And as you
Yeah.
figure that out, you can help others walk that a similar path that's right for them, but you're really just making them know that it's possible, right? To
Yes.
perform. So when what so again, there's going to be some people listening to this, right? How could others support you in not only kind of doing the outreach, but in getting your message across and sort of propagating what you're doing? How can people show up and support you?
I feel like putting me on podcasts like this is great. I also have other people reaching out to me to be a motivational speaker and putting me on their website as a motivational speaker. So those are things that help me believe in myself more and help me know that what I'm doing is making an impact. And those help me. And also my brand, right? Like I have always moving forward as my brand, and buying my apparel is another thing. But usually when my apparel is bought, I want it to go into a fund where it goes right back into the youth and everything. It's kind of like a cycle where the money doesn't go out, it stays in, and the money stays in. When people buy apparel, it goes right back into the youth, whether it's remaking t-shirts, remaking hats and all that type of stuff. So that's another way to help. But I feel the biggest way for me to get help is getting my name out there, sharing my story, sharing my TikToks, sharing the things that we always moving forward is about, and the things that have helped you. Because even commenting on my posts and people talking about how it has helped them, like that helps me a lot. That helps me know that what I'm doing is helping other people. And that's why I make those things, why I make TikToks, why I make my videos, is to be able to help people believe in themselves. Because in the world we live in today, you want somebody out there to believe in you, and I want people to know I believe in them. And when I show people that I believe in them, there's people that come back and believe in me. And it's just like it's full circle. Like you yourself, you reached out to me and you want to put me on a podcast, and that's giving me um exposure.
Mm-hmm.
So I thank you for that, for sure. I 100% thank you for that. And these are the type of things that help me as an individual believe in myself. And when I told my daughter I was going to be on a podcast, that somebody reached out to me and I was going to be on a podcast, she was really happy for that. She was clapping. She was like, "I'm proud of you, Dad." And those are the type of things, like my kids even telling me they're proud of me, my partner telling me they're proud of me. And back in
Yes.
2013, those things weren't there for me.
And I had to find out from Terrence, what is it going to take for him to sort of break down those barriers, deal with those challenges, and give it his all as he goes to build up this movement?
So I know it's going to take a lot of time away from my family to be able to build always moving forward. So I am going to risk time from my family, but I'm also going to risk, like I'm risking the I'm putting my name out there, so because I want the that I'm believing that they are believed in and that we are in this together. So the risk that I am do what sort of risks am I taking is probably like I'm not I want to be a motivational speaker. I want to be able to show our youth that I am here for them and we're there for them. But right now, like, I am a landscaper. A lot of those things and a lot of that thing, if it has to get pushed to the side for our youth, that is a risk I am willing to take, because I youth that much. And if those things are some things that are going to have to come on a little later in life, because our youth need me and there are people reaching out that want me to go to different communities and want me to do that, then that's what we're gonna do. But right now, before all that happens, the risk I also got to take is to be able to be outreach and to be able to make those cold calls and to be able to be like, this is what we're going to do. Do you believe in me? And if that person doesn't, reach out to the next one and be like, this is what we're going to do. And those are things I got to keep taking. And I feel like it's kind of a risk because it's something that kind of eats away at me internally a little bit every time there's a no.
Yeah.
But I do got a lot of people that do believe in what I'm doing, and I can see it. And I see the elders that are talking to me. I see the community members that are like, yes, this is then. And even people are like, why didn't you run for council? I'm like, because council comes with a whole different type of stuff that I won't be able to focus on our youth as much as I want to.
Yeah. Okay. So you realize the time it's going to take. There might be a bit of an impact on the family, but I mean, to me, it sounds like you're creating that foundational process that needs to be there. That regardless of the time taken away, you're still going to have that positive connection, and your kids are rooting you on,
They
right?
are. They really are. Yes. Yeah.
and and
Yeah.
then that you got to buy into this. If you want people to buy into it, you have to buy into it by
Yeah.
putting some other opportunities to the side to stay focused on this, right?
Yes.
That's kind of
Yes.
where you're going. Okay, when we end this podcast, what are like some small actionable steps that you can take when we're done to kind of keep moving forward to get to those pilots?
Reach out to different communities. I already have my proposals written up. I have everything written up. I have my proposals that I can drop off. Have the paperwork written up. I just got to do the outreach, and I got to be able to talk to the chiefs, the counselors, and show them that this is what we can do. But I feel like over the phone is kind of hard to show them how I believe in what I believe in.
Mm-hmm.
So what I want to do is I want to be able to call different communities and kind of make appointments and be like, I will drive to this community and I'm going to come and show you, this is the paperwork, this is the framework, and this is how we want to build always moving forward. I want it to be a program to bring to our youth within each community, because I want to build leaders, I want to build entrepreneurs, I want to build business owners, I want to build youth and people that believe in themselves, so they are not joining gangs, selling drugs, all that destructive lifestyle that is constantly going on within the inner cities. And it's hurtful. And like I live not in the inner city. We're kind of on the outside of the city a little bit,
Yep.
because of that reason. Like, I don't want my kids to be so much exposed. Like, sometimes I feel like I'm hiding my kids from the world, but at the same time I'm I don't want my kids to be exposed to so much stuff, because right now my kids don't even know what alcoholism is. They don't know what violence in the house is. They don't know all that type of stuff. And that's type of stuff I want to keep it that way, but I also want to inform them that this is the type of stuff that does happen.
What's something you're going to do when you hang up the phone that's going to get you into a face-to-face meeting?
When I hang up the phone, I am going to call to Lac Orange Band. I'm going to see if the chief, because Chief Tammy Cook Searson just got reelected back in. I'm going to see if she's available. If not, then I will talk to the counselors and maybe make an appointment there and see if any of them are coming to Saskatoon. If not, I will go to Little Red and maybe meet with the counselor there, because I know the counselors in Little Red Reserve as well, and that's where I want to start the program. So those are the steps I got to take, and I feel like these type of questions are the type of questions that hold me accountable. So I thank you for that.
Well, that's the thing, because I'm going to be checking up on you to find out how
Yes.
those phone calls went. And yeah, no, I think that's great. Where can people find you on the interweb, on social media?
I'm on TikTok, always moving forward on TikTok.
Yep.
I'm always moving forward on Instagram as well. And I am on Facebook as well, always moving forward.
Okay.
I am verified on Facebook with my Always Moving Forward platform. I am just building a website right now. The reason I haven't put my website out there, because I was building an apparel website, And then I wanted to be about motivation. And then I was back and forth. I was on the teeter-totter. Now I'm going back toward motivation with apparel. So kind of building the website myself with
Okay.
webador.com.
Yeah, no, get that merch rolling, because if you can get that all set up now, it will take off, right? Like people will purchase merch to support you because they're getting something that they would normally buy clothing, and then it gets you out there. So yeah, that's
Yes.
awesome. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, let's leave it at that.
Thank you for the awesome questions and holding me accountable, because right now, like you said, after this phone call, I'm going to do some outreach. I'm going to reach out to counselors. I'm going to reach out to the chief, and I'm going to see how we can get my program into the communities.
All right, man. That's awesome. Let's do it.
Right on.
Okay.
Thank you.
We'll talk to you later,
Yeah.
Terrence.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us at Hazardscape. You can subscribe to our YouTube and find our ad-free training videos by becoming a supporter on Patreon with a network of other Indigenous peoples looking to make their communities safer. And remember, know your hazardscape and be prepared.